My expectations for cable news are lower than the calorie count on celery sticks at this point. But this CNN clip still shocked me. We're gonna break it down, but first, I'm Brad Palumbo, and welcome back to Mediaite, your home for coverage and commentary on the intersection of media and politics. So, the sports commentator and part-time CNN host Charles Barkley is going viral right now for some pretty controversial comments he made about black Trump supporters that left even his liberal co-host, Gayle King, shocked. Take a look for yourself.
The mugshot, we've all seen the mugshot. And you know who embraced it more than anybody else? The black population. It's incredible. You see black people walking around with my mugshot. You know, they do shirts.
When you heard that, what did you think? Big sigh.
First of all, I'm just going to say this. If I see a black person walking around with Trump mugshot, I'm going to punch him in the face.
Charles.
No, Gayle. Gayle.
You really can't say that because, A, you don't mean that.
Oh, I mean that sincerely. I'm going to just tell you something.
And then you will be arrested for assault. And then what?
I'm going to bail myself out and go celebrate.
Don't encourage him. Don't encourage him. Okay, but go ahead.
Seriously.
Continue.
First of all, if I was at that
conference, yeah.
I'd have got up and walked out. That was an insult to all black people. Because he's basically just saying, and first of all, to compare black history where we've been discriminated against to his plight,
yes,
I would have got up and walked out because it's not a fair comparison. You know, he's a billionaire. He's had a great life. He's been president of the United States. To insult black people who have been discriminated against all these years, to put them in the same category, I was just offended.
There's a lot to unpack here, but yikes. I really can't believe that I even have to say this, but it's not, in fact, okay to punch people just because you don't like how they vote or what they have to say. I mean, use our words, not our fists, is like kindergarten level morality. Does Charles Barkley really not get that? It was also hilarious, although kind of in a depressing way to me, the way that Gayle King, the co-host you saw in this clip, tried so hard to give him an off-ramp. She was like, "You're joking, right? You don't mean this." And he's like, "Nope, I 100% mean it." Charles, you just had to keep digging that hole for yourself, but man, you should have taken the hint from your co-host. Because this diatribe only serves to discredit and distract from the legitimate critique they were making of Trump in this clip. After all, in the footage they showed, Trump said that having a mugshot and being prosecuted for crimes made him more relatable to black voters. That is certainly a dubious and racially insensitive statement that deserves scrutiny, but that scrutiny is now overshadowed by this extreme escalation from a CNN host. It was also unnerving to me to see the live CNN studio audience laughing repeatedly at the idea of black people being hit for their opinions. I mean, are we really at the point where some people, some of the supposedly progressive and supposedly woke people, think it's okay, let alone humorous, to physically harm racial minorities for their political viewpoints? And how would this very same audience or these very same hosts react if a Fox News host had said something like this about white Biden voters? I think we all know that they would feel very differently and they wouldn't find it a laughing matter at all. In fact, it would probably be a national outrage and get nonstop media coverage, whereas this will most likely just be a blip and then fall off the radar. Of course, the sensible position to take is that in either circumstance, a statement like this is totally inappropriate and honestly un-American. After all, black people are individuals, and like all Americans, they're entitled to their vote and their political opinions without fear of violence. And nothing about the pigment of their skin requires them to feel a certain way about immigration, economics, or foreign policy, or abortion, or any of the issues at the heart of this election. Yes, Trump is certainly a crass figure who said some obviously racist things over the years, but the same accusations can certainly be leveled at Joe Biden, albeit perhaps to a lesser extent. All of this is to say that while I personally don't support Trump for a whole host of reasons, I find the idea that a black person isn't allowed to, without deserving of violence, abhorrent and un-American. Charles Barkley should really do better as a political commentator, or else he should just stick to sports. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thanks so much for joining me and for tuning in. Please do consider subscribing and sticking around, and maybe even turning on those bell notifications if you're interested in more highlights and lowlights from political media. And if you got this far in the video, you must have found something interesting or insightful, so please do consider dropping a like and commenting with your thoughts while you're at it. And with that, I'll see you all in the next video.